Alright, so now that we have the back plate and the battery holder complete or drawn out, now what we want to create is the switch cover, and that's going to go right in this corner over here. So just like what we started with the battery cover or the battery holder, the first thing we're going to start with here is going to be Start 2D Sketch. So you can see that right over here. So we're going to go ahead, click on that. Again, we need to select what face we're going to be drawing on, and we're going to draw that right on the front face of the back plate. So we'll click there. It will recenter it. We're going to start with, just like with the battery holder, we're going to start with a rectangle. So we're going to click on the rectangle tool. The 2-point rectangle tool will work great. So we'll go ahead and we will start drawing out a rectangle. So we'll click and drag to start out this rectangle, and we'll enter in some dimensions. So those dimensions are going to be 0.75 in width, and the height is going to be 1.25. And then we'll go ahead and we'll click enter. Alright, so now that we have the start of the switch cover, the next tool, again, just like with the battery cover, we're going to use the offset tool. So we'll select the offset tool. Just like the battery holder, the switch cover is going to be pretty much drawn the exact same way. We'll use the offset tool. So we'll select our rectangle, we'll drag that out, and we will type in 0.1 and press enter. So now we have our holder, and we have the correct offset that we need. I do want to create 2 lines here because I do want the top of this removed. So we'll use the line tool, and we'll go ahead and we will draw a line out here and here. So for this one, I'm going to use the trim tool. I want to just trim off the lines that I don't need. So we'll go ahead and we'll select the trim tool. All right. So we're going to trim that off. Now I got this window up here that popped up when I clicked on it. It says the curve being extended, trimmed, split, has a split dimension, remove the dimensions, and then perform the operation. So if you look here, it's got a dimension right here. So the first thing I want to do before I can trim is I do need to, so press escape, I do need to select this dimension, and I do need to delete that dimension. Alright, and I also want to select this dimension and delete that as well. So now when I go in and I select the trim tool, I should be able to trim these, remove dimensions, performance operation. So let's take off this dimension as well, because I'm still getting that pop up. So let's try the trim tool again. So now it's allowing me to trim off the top of that. So now I'm left with this U shape. I want to trim that too. So now I'm left with this U shape. Alright, so now that I've done my trimming, what I want to do is I do want to start to align, just like I did down here. I want to start to align this. Now for this one, I want to align this corner with this point right here. Alright, so I'll start with the vertical constraint. I'll select that. I'll select that point, and I will select this point here, and you can see it slides it right over. Alright, so now I'm going to select the horizontal constraint. Again, I'll just pick this corner again here. I'll select that, and I'll select that point again, and we'll bring it right up to that top. So the last thing I want to do is I do want to add, just like I did with the bottom piece, I do want to add this rectangle here as well. Alright, so with the rectangle tool, I'll start in this top corner here. All right, and I will draw this rectangle down. And you can see how it snaps to these lines, and we definitely want that. All right, so now that I drew out that rectangle, same thing, I do want to use the fillet tool to round over this edge. So the fillet tool, right now it's set to 0.125, so I do want to make sure that it's at 0.25. All right, and I will complete that fillet right there. All right, so now I can head over. This part of the sketch is done and ready. Actually, there is one more thing I want to do, because I do want to make sure I have a little opening down here for the wires to come out. So I'm going to go back to the line tool, and I'm just going to select it right from the center point, and you can see it snaps right to that center. And I'm going to draw that line down, and then I'm going to draw a line down from this point. I'm going to draw that straight down as well. All right, so now press escape. So now I'm ready to head over into the 3D model and extrude this. So I've got all my lines done. They're ready. So I can go ahead, click Finish Sketch. All right. So now I want to go ahead and I want to do the extrusion that I need. So I'll pick the extrude. All right, and I will start to select what I want to extrude. I do not want to extrude this section here. All right, but I do want to extrude all of these. So you can see right now it's at 1 inch. I want to go ahead, select that, and change that to 0.5. All right, press OK. All right, and that is the start of my switch holder, where my switch is going to sit. So now I do want to just put a cover on the front of this. So now I'm going to go in, I'm going to start a new sketch. Click on the front face. I can click on the front face here, or I can click on the front face here. I'm just going to pick this one just because it's a little bit bigger. Zoom out a little bit. All right, so for here, same thing, rectangle tool. Start on this top corner, drag it down to this corner. I want to use the fillet tool to round that over. So fillet, it's still set to 0.25. All right, rounded that over. Go ahead, click Finish Sketch. This is probably one of the easiest ones. Click Finish Sketch. I want to extrude this. You can see there's only the one face that I have an option to extrude. So I'm going to set that to 0.1 and click OK. And that is the holder for the battery. So that's where the battery is going to sit. And you can see I've got the opening down at the bottom for the wires to come out. All right, so now I've got these all set. There's a couple things I want to do to this model before I send it to print.